Hey, everybody, good evening. Could everyone please move in the room and take your seats? The bars will be reopening as soon as they get them set up inside. But we'd like you to sit down so that we can get the program started close to on time. Thank you. Good evening. I hate to be a nag, but please sit down so that the servers can start serving dinner. And because of the traffic, which was awful tonight, I know some of you got here a little late, which means you may have to stay just a little bit later because I don't want anyone to leave until this program is completely over. Thank you. So please sit down so the servers can get to work. Hate those lights. Sorry to bother you again. I just wanted to say that we have a special presentation right now, and I would like to invite Mr. Battle up front. Mr. Battle has presented the Spencer dinner and Cincinnatus with a very special present, and I want him to come up and show you. Okay. Curtis will be saying a few words since he and Mr. Battle are longtime friends.
That's what happens when you start eating, you know. Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. J.C. Battle is with J.C. Battle and Sons Funeral Home. He took care of the arrangements for Donald and Marian Spencer. They selected him. In fact, Donald Spencer helped them get the location that they're in right now in Avondale. And so this was his gift to this wonderful organization for honoring Donald and Marian Spencer. As you know, we've been doing this for 10 years. And you know what? I see Camille back there. I know, I always do this. Camille, would you mind coming up? First of all, Camille is the niece of Marian and Donald Spencer. Yes. And I hope all of you have seen the statue of Mrs. Spencer and the young children down at the banks. It is beautiful. What's interesting is Camille is the person who posed for that. She looks just like her aunt. And for those of you who don't know, Mrs. Spencer had a twin, and they would talk every night. They would talk every night at 11:30, not every night at 7:30 or 8, every night at about 11:30 or so. And I've always said, oh, how I wish I was a fly on the wall. And you know what's interesting? God works in mysterious ways. Mrs. Spencer passed away in the summer. Her sister passed away about 9 months later. So interesting. But Camille, I wanted you to come up here and see this of your aunt and uncle, because it is a special, beautiful tribute that we'll be able to use in years to come of Donald and Marian Spencer. Isn't that beautiful? And it says, given in honor by J.C. Battle and Sons. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece. And it just brings them to life. You know, Mr. Spencer had passed away before we started this event. But as many of you know, Mrs. Spencer was here as long as she could. In fact, 1 month before she passed away, we had the event about about 7 weeks or so before she passed away, we had this event. And although she was not in attendance, we got her on the line. We called her up at home. And I'm glad she didn't hang up on me. But we talked, and little did we know at that time that would be the last time we heard her voice in this large public setting. So everyone, please give J.C. Battle a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Huh? Okay. Camille told me she's going to go sit down. She hates when I do that, but I always see her. It's hard not to miss her in the audience. Well, please continue eating. We will officially start the program shortly. But it is good seeing everyone. It is good to see you. Thanks for coming out. We'll start the program soon.
I hate to do this, so, but if we don't get started, I want you to keep eating while we speak, okay? But if we don't get started, we're going to have you here till 9 o'clock, and I know none of you want that. So I will be speaking for a couple of minutes, and I would like you to continue eating and not worry about that, okay? Okay. So I want to welcome all of you who have been here before, and those of you who have never been here, and we certainly hope that this will not be your last time. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm Susan Noonan, and I'm very proud to be a member of Cincinnatus Association. I joined somewhere around 2013. I'm not sure exactly when. And one of the reasons I've stayed all this time is because the Cincinnatus Association has been and will continue to be encouraging and engaging our members to do whatever they can to improve the quality of life in Cincinnati, in our region, not just Cincinnati. Having a hard time reading my notes, sorry. It's those bright lights. Woo. But what that means really is that we believe in and we recognize the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And by the way, equity is defined as the fair distribution of justice. So yes, that's what we want. What I wanted to say is that I think that DEI has really gotten a bad rap, and each part of DEI is so important to maintaining our democracy. So I'm saying it. Upon joining Cincinnatus, I immediately became a part of the inclusion panel because that's my first love. And about 10 years after joining the panel, this Marian and Donald Spencer dinner became a reality. It's something we always wanted to do, and Curtis and I have been involved for all 10 years. And it's really important to me, as I know it is to many other people in this room. I was lucky enough to know Marian well for the last 7 years of her life. Not enough time, but enough time to know what an incredible force she was. So, every year at this dinner is unique. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat. But our community, there's so many organizations in this community that are carrying on the legacy of Mrs. Spencer, that we'll never be able to honor them all. But we will continue to try. Spencer Awards are going to continue long after I'm alive. So please keep supporting this dinner, which appears to be more important than ever right now. Okay. So I just want to say thank you all for sharing this really important night with us. And I know you're not going to forget the importance of inclusion, diversity, and equity. So now I do have some much-deserved thank yous. My Spencer Committee, would you please stand? I want to thank you for the incredible work that you all did to, again, make this dinner a wonderful success. So, the co-chair this year was Cindy Jones, who could not be here because she happens to be in Tanzania. And the reason she's in Tanzania is she is with, I think it's the 4th or 5th cohort of Marian Spencer Scholars. I'd like to ask those Marian Spencer Scholars to all stand, please. So, All of these young scholars from Cincinnati Public Schools receive a full 4-year scholarship, tuition, room, board, little extra for expenses, and a trip to Tanzania through the Marian Spencer Scholarships. Some of whom have never even been out of Ohio, so it's really a great trip. They are going to be the next generation of young people who carry on the Spencer's legacy. So I'd like to recognize Camille. Oh, we already did. I was going to have Camille stand, but she's already been brought up front, much to her chagrin, so I won't do that again. But the reason, of course, is we love to have somebody from Marian Spencer's family here, and she is a niece. So thank you to Eric Kearney. I know Eric's right over here somewhere, because the African American Chamber partnered with us again this year. And we're excited to have our media sponsor again, the Inquirer, who put several ads in the paper, and we'll do an article afterwards. And I know Beryl couldn't be here, but Kevin Aldridge is here somewhere, and Jenny Key. We also want to thank our AV sponsor, Encore, Nick Abraham, and those guys in the back of the room who do a fantastic job because they never know what I'm going to do. Now, Curtis, the real MC, will be thanking our other sponsors shortly, but I did want to give a special thank you to Guardian Savings Bank and Union Savings Bank and Guardian Savings Bank. They are our presenting sponsor. They did a Pinnacle Award. We cannot thank them enough. So, yeah. And I'm just going to welcome a few dignitaries and ask them to stand, but please hold your applaud till the end so I can just read off their names. We have Commissioner Denise Driehaus, a longtime supporter. We have Vice Mayor Jan Michelle Kearney. We have Eric Kearney, former senator. We have, We have City Manager Cheryl Long. Thank you, Cheryl. We have Chief Magistrate, Common Pleas Court, Tom Berridin. I think Tom's here. Woody Keown, the CEO of the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. We have Major Jackie Reed, who is representing Sheriff McGuffey, who is out of town. Thank you, Jackie. We don't have Beryl Love, he got sick. And we also have special guest Anthony Munoz, former Bengal extraordinaire, here tonight. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you all for attending this dinner. I think you'll want to come back again, I hope. And finally, I just want to ask all of our former awardees who are represented here tonight to stand, because we just appreciate their continued support so much for other organizations that are doing the same thing they are, carrying on the legacy of the Spencers. So I know we have people from Freestore, Goodwill Industries, First Financial Bank, Santa Maria, Avondale Development Corps, Vendors on Vine, I hope they showed up, American Jewish Committee, Women Helping Women, City Gospel, and Sukasa / Hispanic Chamber. So thank all of you for continuing to support other organizations. Okay. Now for a special treat. Some of you have seen this, many of you have not. 4 years, how many years ago, four fourth grade girls from Winton Hills Academy actually interviewed Marian Spencer when she was in the nursing home, and they wrote a book about Marian Spencer. Tonight we have one of those young ladies, Serenity Mills, and her teacher, Julie Delacave, who helped her, helped all four of them write this book. Would you guys please stand? I mean, Serenity... Serenity is now in the 10th grade. She wrote this in the 4th grade. So you will see this 4-minute video, after which Rhonda, my good friend, Rhonda Holyfield Mangieri, and the president of Cincinnatus will say a few words, and then the real MC, Curtis Fuller, comes up. Thank you.
How do you create a world where every child can live their best possible life? At Cincinnati Children's, that answer is easy. It's our people. It takes every one of us meeting every person where they are, collaborating with patients and each other, always asking, how might we? Our people are committed, passionate, and playful. We care, we explore, we create, we teach.
Marian Spencer, a light in the darkness. On June 28, 1920, an amazing thing happened. A small but bright light came into a world of darkness that needed faith and courage to light the way.
Marian Alexander Spencer was born and raised in the town of Gallipolis, Ohio, in the home of her grandfather, a freed slave from West Virginia. Raised by her parents, she had a twin sister and two brothers.
When she was young, she watched marches of the Ku Klux Klan in front of their home. She saw their hatred and darkness, and she knew her light was needed to shine love that has no color into their hearts. At age 13, she decided to join the NAACP. She wanted to help others see the way to make a difference.
Her grandfather inspired her to help others and always stand up for what is right.
She moved to Cincinnati, where she went to the University of Cincinnati and earned a degree in English in 1942. Getting an education fueled her light to shine brighter.
While she was in college, people of color were not allowed to participate in the school's prom. Marian shined her light and spoke out about this darkness. In 1940, she married Donald Spencer and had two sons. Her husband was a Cincinnati teacher.
Marian spoke out about segregation of the Cincinnati public schools. Many schools were not integrated. They were just white schools and black schools. Marian said, every child should at least have a chance to get a good education. One day in 1952, she wanted to take her sons to Coney Island in Cincinnati, but when they got there, they were turned away by a guard holding the gun because of the color of their skin.
That was July the 4th, a day celebrating our country's independence. Marian knew that our country was founded on the belief that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
All men, all people are created equal in our country, not just some. Marian had the courage to file a lawsuit and won. Desegregated Coney Island. Marian's light shined through the darkness to reveal equality and liberty.
Marian continued over many years to fight for civil rights. She inspired others to do the same.
She became the first elected president of the Women's City Club, was president of the Links Incorporated, and served as a member of the University of Cincinnati's Board of Trustees. In 1981, she became the first female president of the Cincinnati branch NAACP. She also served as chairperson of the Ohio Civil Rights Commission.
In 1983, Marian was the first African-American female elected to Cincinnati City Council and served as vice mayor. People saw Marian's light and wanted to help her shine.
Marian's light was recognized for the many things she did. Marian still lives in Cincinnati. She continues to selflessly help others and is dedicated to making a difference. That small but bright light that came into a world of darkness grew into a powerful beacon that continues to inspire and light the way to truth, equality, and justice for all people.
Thank you, Marian Spencer.
Wasn't that an inspirational film? Hi, Ellen. I'm always moved when I see this film and when I hear the stories of others who Marian and Donald Spencer impacted their lives. And I'm so thankful for them. So, good evening, everyone. It's good to see you again this year. And on behalf of the members of the Cincinnatus Association, welcome to the 10th Annual Spirit of America Awards in honor of Donald and Marian Spencer. So welcome, and I'm thankful. Connie, you said this, but this is my last Spencer Awards serving as president of Cincinnatus. The Spencer Awards is one of the highlights of the year, and I've served as, I don't know how many years, Susan, as your co-chair in the past, so maybe 3 years. So, one of the great things about being president was that I got to stand before this gathering of people who do the work of civil rights and equal opportunity that I value. I want to tell you a short story. I was 8 years old in 1960 when I witnessed one woman, her name was Miss Madeline Cohen, who happened to be white, take a stance with the Board of Education in my hometown in West Virginia. And she told them that they would hire my father as a teacher. My father was working low-wage jobs, had 5 daughters, and he had a bachelor's of science degree in secondary education. Miss Cohen went and said, "You'll hire him," and they did. And that made an impression on me and was the many experiences that fueled my commitment to stand up, speak up, write up, and do what's right for others. I want to take a few minutes to thank Susan and also Cindy, who's not here, and the Spencer Committee for their year-long work in delivering this evening's program. I also want to thank Kim Fantases. Kim is in the back, who just came on board as our executive administrator and has done a phenomenal job. So I'd like to give all of our Spencer Committee and Kim I also want to thank our sponsors for your commitment to honoring tonight's awardees and acknowledging their important work in the community. Many of you have been with us over the last 10 years, and as we've honored the 45 organizations and individuals who have followed in the example that was set by Donald and Marian Spencer. The Spencers believed in work for community where access and opportunity are not the privilege of some, but the right of everyone. Their values are our association's values, and that is why Cincinnatus holds dear the opportunity to host these awards. For those of you who may not know about Cincinnatus, let me tell you our story. And many of you have heard this story before, but we are 70 passionate people who care for the well-being, vitality, and fairness of our region. We believe that we can have a just and equitable city. Our association was born 105 years ago when a group of civic-minded business leaders, tired of the corruption at City Hall, and believed that they could chart a new course. And they did. They set in motion an association of citizen crusaders committed to political and social changes that would make Cincinnati the kind of city where people matter more than power, where corruption is unwelcome, and where opportunity is abundant. In time, the Cincinnatus Association became a trusted voice with a reputation for integrity, reason, and a nonpartisan evaluation of the issues facing the Cincinnati region. Today, we live in a tense and divided times, but many of us in this room have lived through adversity and division before. And as I mentioned, I was 8 years old in 1960, so you know that I too lived through the civil rights movements and the Vietnam War, which tested our nation. They tested us, they tested our values. And we are not frightened by adversity because we know that through adversity comes the opportunity to make life better for ourselves, our children, and theirs, and our neighbors. We know that adversity tests our integrity, it tests our values, it tests our will, and most of all, it tests our courage. So tonight I ask you in these times, what would Donald and Marian Spencer do? They would not sit idly by, knowing that too many children live in poverty, that too many families lack safe and affordable housing, that too many schools lack the resources to provide a top-tier education to students regardless of their income. No, Donald and Marian Spencer would not sit idly by. And what you will learn about our honorees tonight is that they have not sat idly by either. I'm proud this evening to be in their company and in yours. And I'm proud to be in the company of my fellow Cincinnatus members. And I hope that you saw the slides that were at the end of the scrolling PowerPoint as you arrived that lists some of our accomplishments, both historic and current, and also those to come. Our work has been and remains impactful. So please join me in thanking my fellow Cincinnatus members, my fellow Citizens Crusaders, and so would you please stand, all the members of Cincinnatus Association, and be recognized. And I have to say, each and every one of them are courageous people. So tonight, before we celebrate and honor our 5 courageous organizations, the Cincinnatus Association would like to take a few moments to honor one of our own with the Citizen Cincinnatus Award, which has been given periodically since 1994. This year's recipient has significantly contributed to Cincinnatus through her work on various panels, committees, and special assignments. And for 10 years, she has dedicated a tremendous amount of care, love, and commitment to caring for the legacy of Donald and Marian Spencer, and to ensure that we lift up those organizations whose work exemplifies the work to which Donald and Marian Spencer committed their lives. Tonight, we honor Susan Noonan with the Citizen Cincinnatus Award. Susan, will you join me on stage?
It's Lucius Cincinnatus.
Thank you, Susan, so much. Thank you.
I'll find a special wall for this.
Thank you, Susan. And now I welcome tonight's MC, Curtis Fuller, a much beloved leader in the greater Cincinnati area and a citizen crusader in his own right. Yes. Curtis anchored WLWT TV newscast on Sunday night. He continues to host Let's Talk Cincy, the Emmy Award-winning community affairs program, which he has hosted since 2019. He was named Cincinnati's favorite TV personality by the Broadcast Hall of Fame, and as many as you know, he has presided over all the Spencer Awards programs since 2015, along with Susan Noonan. So please join me in welcoming Curtis Fuller.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations. Give her another big round of applause for her leadership. I must say, when you hear that story about Marian Spencer, told from the voice of a young person is so powerful because we need young people to keep telling that story. And that is why this event is so important, because imagine if we're silent, eventually people will forget people like Marian and Donald Spencer. So tonight we beat the drum for them, we beat the drum for this great city, and I know both of them would be pushing us to do so much more while we can. That's what Mrs. Spencer, one time I asked her, if you had the opportunity to live at any time in your life, when would that time be? And I thought she might say, you know, when she was in her 40s or 30s and the kids were young. And she looked at me, as she would always say, she said my name like no one else. She said, Curtis? I would live right now. And it was a reminder that we can't go back. We don't want to go back, first of all. But we can't, yes, yeah. And unless some of you can do something that most of us can't do, we really can't look into the future. But we have a lot of power right now. And so again, that is why this event is so important. I am just honored to be a part of it, as I have been since its inception. And I tell you, Susan is, wow. She is so dedicated. I've known her longer than the 10 years here. I knew her when she was down at City Hall. And she was a powerful force then, and she remains that today. And I know there are a lot of people who work to make this possible. But again, please give her another big round of applause as well. And, you know, this afternoon she called me and she said, you at least have 2 viewers of your Let's Talk Cincy show. I said, that's good. That's good. That's 2 more than I had yesterday. But actually, there are a couple of ladies here tonight. Where are they from again? New Hampshire and Cincinnati. Where are they? Back in the back there. Stand up and they were flipping around the channel looking for I Love Lucy and came across Let's Talk Cincy, and they said, we know Marian and Donald Spencer. We want to be at that dinner tonight. Isn't that something? So thank you for being my only 2 viewers and being here with us tonight. Let me congratulate our awardees, our for-profit honoree, Union Savings Bank and Guardian Savings Bank. A special thanks, as you heard earlier, a Pinnacle and presenting sponsor. Our nonprofit honorees, Artworks, Cincinnati Children's, Cincinnati Works, Found House, which used to be Interfaith Hospitality Network. Please give them a big round of applause. And we also want to thank our Pinnacle benefactor and advocate sponsors. Again, Union Savings Bank and Guardian Savings Bank. Benefactors, Cincinnati Children's, Jeanette Rankin Foundation, the Jewish Foundation, and Cincinnati Works. Give them all a big round of applause. Now, the advocates. The Alsop family, Cincinnati Federation of Teachers, Found House, Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, Holyfield Manjeri Charitable Fund, Susan and David Noonan, Connie and Don Resch, Alice and Charles Schneider, and Women Helping Women. Thank you all. And I'm told there's, yes, I see the QR code there on the table. If you use that QR code, I'm told that it'll tell you about all the individual sponsors, all the supporting folks of this wonderful event, and those supporting the ongoing legacy of the Spencers. Now, don't take a picture of it or you won't get anything. For a long time, I was taking pictures of the QR code. Eventually, I think it might have been J.C. Battle who told me, no, just hold it and you'll eventually get to the site that you're on. So if any of you are like me, now you know how to get through to the QR code. At this time, we want to show you another video. Barbara Wolf got a chance to sit down with Mrs. Spencer, and her story is just so remarkable. I love hearing her tell her story, and I have many interviews with her, tapes of her. In fact, one time we were just together, and I said, would you mind if I just turn on my tape here, or my phone? And sure enough, I carry that around with me every day. And I recorded her back in probably 2014 or so. And so anytime I want to be inspired, I just scroll down and I play that interview that we did together. But take a look at this video.
I was born in 1920 in Gallipolis, Ohio. I have an identical twin, and I am 15 minutes older than she.
My grandfather had slave owners, and when they were freed, their owners gave all of their slaves and funds to get started in the New World. Grandfather was able to buy a piece of property, build a business on it, and he used that business for a voting booth for the people in our end of the town every year. And I remember looking through the cracks as a girl and seeing these people go in and pull this curtain behind them. And I said, when I grow up, I'm going to do that. I have never missed a vote in my life, and I don't intend to, because people have died for that right. All over the world, they have died for that right.
My twin sister Mildred and I arrived in Cincinnati in the fall of '38. We had just graduated from Galley Academy High School in Gallipolis as co-valedictorians of our class. Even as students then at UC, we were not allowed to sleep on the campus. Ever heard of a sundown town? We had one in Gallipolis. It was a town that you had to be out of before dark if you were black. In 1970, we still had 10,000 sundown towns in the United States, wanting blacks to leave before sundown. What are our gated communities for today? Are they sort of current sundowns? Sundown towns? I don't know. Many social limitations were put on black students at UC. My husband organized a group called Quadres, which helped students with their studying, helped them with integrating into the programs at the university. He organized the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
I came here in 1938 to go to the University of Cincinnati. I married 2 years later, 1940. My boys
Had looked on TV and seen ride, swim, sing, and dance at Coney Island. And they said to me, Mother, may we go? I said, I don't know, but I'll find out. So I went to the kitchen and closed the door. I didn't know what the conversation might entail, and I didn't want them to hear anything negative. And I picked up the phone and I said to this girl, tell me, is Coney Island open to all children? Oh, she said, yes, indeed. And then I said, well, we are Negroes, which was the term that we used, and I want to make certain that they can go without embarrassment. And there was a long quiet on the other end of the phone, and this young woman said to me, no, they can't come. But then she quickly said, but I don't make the rules. And I said, I know you don't, honey, but I'm going to find out who does. And there began my battle. I was on NAACP board at the time, and I went and I told them, I think we've got to do something about Coney Island's admittance policy. And I called every black lawyer in town, young and old, and they all came. I had with me Mr. Attorney Carter from the national office, and he explained to them the process by which we could set up the case. He said have black, white, black, white, black, white coming together. And he said the whites will be admitted for a dime, and the blacks will be refused for the same dime. And that was all that's required. And it took me several days to get that group of people together. Maybe I called 100 to get 25. We went every day for 5 days. When we got to court with the case, it was very interesting. I had both my boys in the courtroom because I told them they were little, they were like 6 and 8, 9, and I was wanting them to know that all the things we wanted were not available, but that we had to go to court sometimes to make them available. And they wanted to go to Coney Island, and I wanted to open Coney Island so they could go, and any other young black child who wanted to go. It was really interesting because in the courtroom, the owner and the director were both there, and Edward, who was 6, only 6, walked up to the head of Coney Island, and he said, you don't look so bad to me. Well, you know, everything that we had done was worth his saying that, because he couldn't think how a man who looked nice could keep him out of Coney Island. It was very interesting because once we got there, the judge's decision, we could go, but pool wasn't open because it was in another county. And it took them a repeat performance, so to speak, of people in the next group of the NAACP to get that pool opened, simply because it geographically lay in another county. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. The owners were chagrined, but there was nothing they could do about it. And we won our case.
And for her to take her 2 little boys out to Coney Island, subject them to the harm and the risks that they were subjected to was an act of courage. And this community, when I go out to Coney Island, I see everyone out there playing and swimming and using all of the facilities with such joy. They have no idea how they got there. So I'm one of those who always salutes Marian.
I fought a lot of cases in Cincinnati organizations in the community that wanted to make change to participate in.
Cincinnatus always voted for PR. They voted with the Women's City Club. Proportional representation was a weighted system that allowed you to vote numerically, 1 to 9. You had to have a weighting of the voting in order to give minorities an opportunity to elect anybody. And they got rid of it in a summer vote. People were out of town, and it was inversely worded. You had to vote no to mean yes. Took them 5 times to get rid of it. And I battled it each time that it came up. In this 12-minute show, I would like to share to all of us that we have a wonderful country, and we've got to keep fighting to keep it moving in the right direction. And it's not to move on a dollar basis. It should move on a morality basis. What's right in a democratic society? And what do we do to keep the doors open for everybody? And people who have come to this country seek a freedom that they have not found more times than not in their own countries. We've got to keep these doors open.
That's always special to watch. You know, I enjoy having conversations in addition to just listening to her speak and listening to, that was Donald Spencer singing at the end, for those of you who might not know. But I also enjoy hearing others tell the stories of their relationship with the Spencers. I know our vice mayor grew up running in and out of their home, the home that they kept all those years. And so this wasn't just a moment. And when you look at that screen and you see Marian Alexander Spencer and Judge Nathaniel R. Jones on the same stage, do you know how special Cincinnati is, was, and hopefully will continue to be? And that's, again, the importance of this night. Yes, they are gone, but the legacy that they left, and so many others, when you just stop and think of the power that we've had in Cincinnati and what they would be telling us at this hour, they would be very diplomatic, but I think we would get the point. And so, again, thank all of you, because this is an important night. Give Barbara Wolf a big round of applause for putting that together. It is also a reminder that, especially now with these cell phones and things where you can record your family members who have that history. Record people who you come in contact with. Just ask them, just listen to them. Because I've been extremely blessed. This is year 47 for me in broadcasting, so you can imagine how many interviews I've done over the years. Of course, the most important one was Jan Michelle, but and Denise Treehouse, of course. But no, you know, every now and then I will go back and look and listen to what they were saying then and how it applies to what is happening today. And that takes us to now, as we think of our honorees for tonight, because in their work, that is what they're doing. They're making sure that there is a fair and equitable playing field for everyone. And so our first honoree is Artworks. And accepting for this is Colleen Houston, the Chief Executive Officer and Artistic Director. The presenter will be Ellen Muse from Cincinnatus Arts Panel Chair. Let me tell you just a little bit about this organization. Artworks creates community-based public art, providing career opportunities for artists of all ages. It's been in existence since 1996. Its mural program has made Cincinnati the #1 city for street art in the United States, according to USA Today's 2024 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. And by employing and training over 3,500 professional artists and engaging 4,000 teenagers and young adults between the ages of 14 and 24, Artworks is actively investing in the creative economy and engaging and preparing young people from historically marginalized and low-income communities with career-ready skills, leadership, and diverse social experiences. While the video is playing, if our presenter and acceptor will come to the stage.
At Artworks, we believe in the transformative power of art. Since 1996, we've been creating community-based public art and offering career opportunities to artists of all ages, shaping not only the landscape of Cincinnati, but also the lives of those who create and experience it.
At Artworks, we believe art is for everyone. So we create art across the entire city in each and every neighborhood so that art is accessible for everyone. We hire young artists from ages 14 to 24 and professional artists who work as mentors. We also pair these artists with community leaders across every neighborhood so that together they're making a positive difference.
Every year, Artworks hires over 300 artists historically and provides career training to more than 4,000 young people aged 14 to 24. These young artists not only create vibrant murals, but also develop vital 21st century career skills through mentorship and hands-on work experience.
I've completely diverged from what I thought that I wanted to do to now knowing that I can make art and that I feel empowered that I can continue down this route of art making and connecting with the community.
It's impacted my own work in many ways. It's pushed my boundaries as an artist to try to become more creative, step outside my comfort zone, and do what I love doing, but even better.
With more than 300 permanent murals across the city, we've created a vibrant citywide gallery that anyone can enjoy. These murals reflect the diversity of our community and tell the stories of people from all walks of life.
Growing up in Cincinnati, I've seen the impact that murals have had on our city, the sense of pride it's built within our community neighborhoods. Artworks really is a catalyst for change, creativity, and building community connection.
We believe we thrive through diversity. Our community is stronger by being a collective of different backgrounds, cultures, and points of view. The more diverse we are, the more we foster a safe space to celebrate identity and uniqueness.
Artworks introduced me to a lot of diverse artists when I first started working here. It also broadened my ideal community based on the artists that I met, mostly because these artists are working for their community and what they believe in, and they're not afraid to challenge barriers, whether it's with Artworks or with other art organizations.
From Evendale to Avondale, Silverton to downtown, these spaces are free, accessible, and open to all who live in or visit Cincinnati. Art is for everyone, with no economic barriers, helping to enrich the community and improve our shared quality of life.
Congratulations to Artworks.
Thank you so much. This is a very humbling honor just to keep the memory of Marian Spencer alive. This is really for the next generation, so I want to give a shout out to the Artworks team, our staff, and our board who live out our values every day, that we thrive through diversity. Young artists made the video, so shout out especially to Mark, Madeline, Cameron, Dutana, who we will keep fighting. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Cincinnati Children's. Yes, you can woo-woo again if you want to. There was one woo-woo. Woo-woo to you too. Don't get me started now. I've been good all night. Accepting will be Alexandria Merriweather Turner, the Senior Specialist in Inclusive Experience. And presenting will be Melissa Correntz, Cincinnatus Excellence in Government Panel Chair. A little bit about Cincinnati Children's. Part of the Cincinnati Children's Hospital Network, established back in 1883. As a nonprofit in all 50 states and dozens of countries serving children with complex and rare disorders. Seeing the demographic changes and health implications, Cincinnati Children's is the champion in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and lives it every single day through their programs and initiatives, addressing factors such as social detriments of health and well-being. They acknowledge issues and inequities and incorporate them into the way they operate. Understanding the challenges, the organization is making measurable, sustainable, and truly human progress to become a place of safety and respect, focusing on children's health.
Every child can live their best possible life. At Cincinnati Children's, that answer is easy. It's our people. It takes every one of us meeting every person where they are, collaborating with patients and each other, always asking, how might we? Our people are committed, passionate, and playful. We care, we explore, we create. We teach. We make the impossible happen. Here, we become the best version of ourselves so we can help others in their journey. Bound by a common purpose, we stand together proudly, celebrating our differences and embracing challenges. We are the difference every day, for every family and every teammate. Together, we are one Cincinnati Children's.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say thank you on behalf of Cincinnati Children's and let you guys know that we are committed to ensuring that everyone is safe, welcome, and valued and respected at Cincinnati Children's. So thank you again.
Our next honoree is Cincinnati Works. Yes.
To make sure that they have the skills, the core competencies, and the support to be successful.
This is a place for someone who wants to make a change in the world.
Hello, I am Tiana Amat, and I am honored to serve as the President and CEO of Cincinnati Works. At Cincinnati Works, our mission is clear: to partner with willing and capable individuals living in poverty, guiding them towards economic self-sufficiency through employment. We do this through workforce and financial coaching.
We care from the time they walk in to the time we show them how to get a job, how to keep a job.
I live to meet them where they are and help them to live their best financial life.
At Cincinnati Works, we're building a better community. It's the community where I want to live, where I want to work, where I want to raise my family.
Every day, our dedicated staff works closely with our members, our clients, identifying their strengths, nurturing their goals, and honing the skills essential for success in the workplace. We proudly partner with over 75 employers who not only hire our members, but join hands with us to help forge lasting careers. In addition, we collaborate with other nonprofit agencies to address a range of challenges our members might face, ensuring nothing hinders their journey to success.
Cincinnati Works means to me advancement, career opportunities.
I think about motivation, I think about thrive, I think about a team.
I don't look at it as a program, I look at it as a family, because I've been coming back here since 2012, get my taxes done, get advices, trying to learn more stuff about investing my money, doing right things with my money, so I come down here and get a type of idea.
I believe for anyone looking to get back into the job market, Cincinnati Works will be a great help. They also do resume preparation. They have career coaching. You have access to come down here and get on the computers and look through the internet, find jobs that you may need, or get help from one of the career coaches.
When I did the workshop in 2007, it was Cincinnati Works that gave me a job at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. So at least I could get food, clothing, shelter for my 2 kids. And it was through Cincinnati Works that I could buy a house.
I recommend Cincinnati Works to many people who come from the same background that I come from, and they're looking for a way to restart their life, to get a second chance, to learn how to do different things in a different manner and take a different approach to life.
It was kind of hard, trying to find jobs, I've just been through a lot, and Cincinnati Works.
Cincinnati Works has an innovative and impactful approach, and it includes 3 elements. The first element is bringing awareness to manufacturing careers. We are so grateful that they have spread the word about great careers in manufacturing. 2, they're training those very folks in the skills that our advanced manufacturing industry company members want for their employees so that they're trained up and ready to work. 3, they are providing a coach that lasts for a year, and that coach gives that person coaching so that they're successful in their current job, but also for a lifelong career. So those 3 things have made it very impactful working with Cincinnati Works.
Thank you so much. On behalf of our staff, board, and the thousands of members we walk beside, I am honored to accept the 2025 Donald and Marian Spencer Spirit of America Award. At Cincinnati Works, we believe that every individual, regardless of their past or present circumstances, deserve a fair shot at economic self-sustainability. This recognition affirms what we've known for nearly 30 years, that lasting change happens when we invest in people, remove systemic barriers, and build inclusive pathways to opportunity. We are proud to carry forward this legacy of Donald and Marian Spencer, and we remain committed to building a more just and equitable Cincinnati. One job, one life, and one future at a time. Thank you.
And if we could have Tiane Amat, the president and CEO, come forward, and then presenting this is someone who has the coolest name around, Al Pacino. Every time I see it, I'm thinking, that is the coolest name. Al Pacino Beauchamp. Can I steal that name one time?
You can steal it.
I can steal it.
You gotta ask her.
Oh. You want to sit? Go ahead, can say a few words. I asked her if she wanted to shake my hand. She said, no, that's... just kidding, just kidding. When you hear those stories, it's amazing, isn't it? Just the work that's being done right here in Cincinnati. That's the good story. That's the good story. It really is. Our next honoree is Found House, which was Interfaith Hospitality Network. And accepting will be Stacy Berg, Chief Executive Officer, and then presenting will be Matt Strauss, Cincinnatus Inclusion Panel Chair. But let me just tell you a little bit about it. Found House provides shelter, housing, and support to families experiencing housing insecurity to strengthen those services through interfaith and community partnerships. Found House provides services to the whole family. However those families define themselves. Found House was the first human shelter in the Cincinnati area to also include pets. Take a look.
What is home? Is it a structure, a roof and four walls? Is it a location? A house is a building with a street address. A home is where you belong. It is where you feel safe with those you love. Home is where you can be together. At Found House IHN, we shelter families from the weather. We give them a place with four walls and a roof. The most important thing we do is keep families together however family is defined. Whether it's a single parent, grandparents raising grandkids, or chosen family, no one should have to navigate homelessness alone. Families lose housing for numerous reasons: job loss, chronic illness, disability, unsafe living conditions, evictions due to property development, or because wages do not match rental cost. When this happens, there are few options. Some couch surf or live in cars. Some move from motel to motel, stretching limited resources just to stay sheltered. Parents cannot join tent cities or sleep under bridges. These environments are unsafe for children. In the midst of this struggle, some are forced to make heartbreaking decisions, like leaving their kids with relatives or surrendering their pet in order to access shelter. Many refuse services to stay together, holding on to the idea of home even when a house isn't available. At Found House Interfaith Housing Network, we saw a better way. That's why we created an organization where we shelter entire families together without limits. From emergency shelter to housing programs, from case management to pet support, we walk alongside families on their journey home. Our emergency shelter allows families to stay safe and indoors while working towards housing. Housing programs such as permanent supportive housing and rapid rehousing provide rental assistance and case management to address job development, rental supports, healthcare, and mental health resources. We also offer specialized supports like child enrichment, assisting children in staying on track with developmental and educational milestones and ameliorating the traumatic impacts of housing instability. And finally, our pet support program offers pet shelter and services to people in homeless and domestic violence shelters, rehabs, treatment centers, hospitals, or those living doubled up with friends across the tri-state area. Nearly 90% of families we serve maintain long-term housing, proving that staying together is the best path of recovery from the trauma of housing loss. Every family's story is different, but they all share the hope of maintaining home and connection. Thanks to this community of supporters, hope remains possible, even amid the housing crisis, funding threats, and misconceptions about family homelessness. Tonight, we are honored to receive the Donald and Marian Spencer Spirit of America Award. This award belongs to the families who show resilience every day, to the volunteers and partners who stand beside them, and to you, to those who believe that everyone deserves a home. Because of you, families stay together. Because of you, home is possible. Thank you.
If I could have Stacy come forward along with Matt Strauss. Is Stacy here? Oh, there she is. Oh, okay. All right.
I always travel with an entourage. These are some of the wonderful staff who help make this possible.
Oh, okay, great.
I just want to say that when I was a young professional, moving back to Cincinnati, having done all my work in Cleveland, and I'm sorry, I still think Cleveland is really cool. One of the selling points, though, about Cincinnati was the story of Marian Spencer. And whenever I have friends across the country who doubt this city, it's one of the first things I pull out of my hat. So honored to be here tonight. Thank you.
Cleveland, huh? I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. Anthony, don't get mad with her. Don't you love Anthony Munoz? I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We've known each other for a while, and he is always so kind and gracious. You know, I remember how he used to tear heads off on the playing field. But he is the kindest person that you can meet. And you rarely get a chance to meet his boss. Dee Dee, stand up so everybody who might not know you, let me. And I mean that. This isn't scripted, but you know, sometimes you just have to tell people how much you are appreciated. And I know you know Cincinnati loves you, but your presence here tonight speaks volumes of the person you've always been, involved, committed, and I just wanted to say thank you to you. Thank you. God bless you. And please give all of our honorees, our nonprofit honorees, a big, big, big round of applause. And so now we recognize our for-profit awardee and pinnacle level supporter, Union Savings Bank and Guardian Savings Bank. Accepting will be Keith Borders, the Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer and Vice President of Community Development. Presenting will be Susan Noonan, Cincinnatus Spencer Awards Chair. Let's take a look at the video.
Hello, my name is Keith Borders, and I'm Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer and Vice President of Community Development for Union and Guardian Savings Bank. We are proud to be the honoree for this year's Donald and Marian Spencer Award for Diversity and Inclusion and Advocacy. Thank you, and we look forward to this evening's program.
Keith, what are Union and Guardian Savings Bank doing to promote the legacy of Marian Spencer?
Union and Guardian Savings Bank are long-term residential mortgage lenders throughout the Midwest. We're headquartered here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and our commitment mission is that we believe financial strength of our bank is based upon the strength of communities. We believe that it is crucial that we are part of the community and connected to the challenges that neighborhoods and potential homeowners and homeowners face every day. In doing so, that looks like our engagement in organizations and nonprofits, financial literacy and education, and many more opportunities to be supportive of the communities we serve.
Can you tell me how Union and Guardian Savings Bank incorporate their vision and mission into the daily work and service to the public?
Yes. Union and Guardian really believe that our strength relies upon the strength of the neighborhoods and the communities that we serve. What that looks like for our employees as well as for our neighbors is ongoing engagement, whether it be volunteering at numerous community programs and activities, and investing, donating, financially supporting our employees and their volunteer efforts and the organizations. In addition, it means that we are creating and utilizing loan and borrowing programs that help individuals get on the pathway to home ownership. It looks like financial education and financial literacy efforts that help to empower the communities that we serve so that everyone gets on that pathway to generational wealth. It looks like our diversity and inclusion efforts, like our Working in Neighborhoods Senior IDA program, in which we're matching dollar for dollar savings efforts by individuals with dollars that can be used to build and improve their homes that they already own. It looks like the Summer Banking Institute, which Union and Guardian Savings Bank created in 2016 to offer college students an opportunity to immerse themselves in the banking industry. This is a 10-week program in which students go through a banking boot camp, and then they intern with our bank for 10 weeks. They are working across our bank, all our departments, as well as working in branch locations, in an effort to demystify banking for future students and employees of our bank. It looks like a monthly breakfast with our chairman, Louis Beck. We call it Diversity Breakfast with Louis, in which employees across the bank are invited to small group breakfast conversations to talk about diversity and inclusion, to discuss unconscious bias, to share with one another open and honest challenges that we all experience around these tough topics and daily interactions. Our goal is to ensure that our work environment is one that is respectful for everyone. Finally, it looks like for us an ongoing engagement with our employees and our communities, again, to ensure that our neighborhoods are as strong as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. If Keith Borders and Susan Noonan please come to the stage.
It is an honor and a pleasure to have this extremely powerful award on behalf of Union and Guardian Savings Bank in the name of Donald and Marian Spencer. Wow. I won't belabor the point and give another speech. My colleagues from the bank have already shared with me I need to be brief, and I will be. But I have to give some recognition to some of the leaders in our organization. Can I ask our board of directors for Union and Guardian Savings Bank to please stand? It's this leadership that is instrumental for the initiatives and for the programs to work at the ground zero, grassroots, boots on the ground level. Without that leadership, right, it's all talk. Secondly, I have to share with you that we are fortunate in that our organization is small and we have the ability to have a big impact. There are programs that I talked about and initiatives, but there are many others that you don't know about that impact folks across our footprint, across Cincinnati, every single day. And so it is with honor that I accept this award on behalf of Union and Guardian Savings Bank in the name of Donald and Marian Spencer. Thank you very much.
Rhonda, would you please come up? Okay, this is kind of, Curtis doesn't know about this. No, you don't. I'm taking over the mic for a minute because the last thing we want to do tonight is to celebrate the legacy of Curtis Fuller. So I didn't know, and he didn't know. But he is, as you know, a trailblazing journalist, trusted voice, and beloved Cincinnatian. His commitment to truth, community, and mentorship lives on through the Curtis. Keep going.
This is the money I was going to give to Guardian Savings and Union Savings Bank.
All right, keep it coming. I'm going to say more. So, anyway, so his legacy is going to live on through the Curtis Fuller Scholarship Fund for Journalism. I don't know if you've heard about it. Yeah. So it's administered by the Cincinnati Scholarship Foundation. This scholarship supports graduates of Cincinnati Public Schools who pursue a bachelor's degree in journalism or a related field, students with both financial need and a passion for storytelling. So this academic year, the Cincinnatus Association is proud to fund one deserving recipient of the scholarship. It's a renewable award that will provide 4 years of support. So that's $1,000 each year. So we're presenting this Curtis Scholarship Fund with a check for $4,000. And yeah, I'll take the 4, yeah. But while we don't yet know the recipient's name, we do know that they'll represent the talent, the resilience, and the potential of our city's youth. So by investing in this student, we are investing in Cincinnati's future. Local stories deserve local storytellers, voices who understand our community and will shine a light on the triumphs and challenges. Education unlocks opportunity, as we all know, and we're honored to help remove barriers for the next Curtis Fuller recipient. So thank you to the Cincinnati Scholarship Fund for your partnership and to everyone who champions these students. Together, we are ensuring that journalism in our city remains vibrant and inclusive.
called her this afternoon and I said, is there anything that I need to know that you changed in the program? Susan said no. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What a wonderful and humbling surprise. Thank you very much. We've helped a few students along the way. And I tell you, and once again, Anthony, we were both involved with the Cincinnati Scholarship Foundation, and I saw where Anthony Munoz once had a scholarship under the banner of the Cincinnati Scholarship Foundation, and Johnny Bench, he still has a fund under it. And, you know, Anthony Munoz has his own foundation, the work that he does with young people. And so it inspired me. Now, I always tell people, if you really want a lot of money, find Anthony Munoz or Johnny Bench. I can get you the bus fare. Again, you know, like some of you in this room, I realize that I have more years behind me than I do ahead of me. I hope to be around a long time, but reality is reality. And so all you can do is, as I said at the beginning, try to help someone right now. And that's what I try to do. I might not be able to give them $1 million, but if I can give them $5, that may help. I can't give them $1 million because I have a 20-year-old daughter who, as a matter of fact, I used to think that I had something growing in my pocket because her hand is always in my pocket. But no, she is supportive of this as well, and I always hope that maybe something that you do, as we said about shining a light, you let your light shine in any small way you can. And but thank you very much. As we come to the end of this program, again, I hope you have enjoyed the evening. And again, one more last round of applause to all of our honorees. As we watched the videos and heard the comments from our honorees tonight, it really is a reminder and proof of the great city and caring city that we have here in Cincinnati, in greater Cincinnati. And sometimes I know the challenges that we face from day to day, the headlines might not always show that for one reason or another. But sit here tonight and you know that this is a good city. This is a great city. And it is a reminder that we can impact anything. Whatever challenge is out there, we can overcome that challenge if we work together. Look around this room. 400 people in this room working together to keep the legacy of Donald and Marian Spencer alive. So that's really the call to action tonight, is continue doing what you're doing right now, supporting these organizations and supporting individuals who I was struck by watching those videos, because somewhere in this city, someone is getting help in some small way. The amazing program that they have at the bank, encouraging young people to get involved with banking. Think about that, and helping seniors. $500 might not seem like a lot to some of you, but if you have nothing, that $500 can change your life. And we realize that, people a lot of people are right on the edge. And that $500 can really be life or death for them. And so, and just as our walk as Donald and Marian Spencer, see that smile? That's what they had all the time. That beautiful, beautiful smile. But they were fighters. I would never want to be on the wrong side of the ring against them. So it's a way that we can keep fighting, stand firm for what we believe and what we know is right. And we can keep smiling at the same time. But Mrs. Spencer always said, keep fighting. God bless you. Have a good night and a better day tomorrow. If we could have the awardees come forward so that you can get a picture, a final picture. Be safe. God bless you, everyone.